Welcome to LuckyClover. This video will guide you through a quick and easy setup for the LuckyClover Roadshow. There are 4 reports that you should receive from your immediate manager. These reports are the work order, the LuckyClover setup diagram, and the step-by-step instructions. These are the instructions that you will use during your setup. The third report is a roadshow setup and closing report, which you are responsible for filling out upon completion of your setup, as well as your teardown. And lastly, the end of show count and reporting. This does not need to be completed by you, but should be left on the clipboard at the end of setup. If you did not receive these reports, please contact your manager immediately. Prior to your setup, you should have located your LuckyClover setup. These are all the boxes that are going to be needed for your setup. There should be 6 boxes at the beginning of your setup, as well as securing your space in the warehouse at the front of the store. Now you will begin your setup using your step-by-step instructions, as well as your LuckyClover setup diagram that should have been given to you from your management. The first thing you want to do is locate box number 1. It says Open Me First, as well as labeled box number 1. Inside this box will contain your table covers, which will be red or black. If you do receive the black spandex table covers, please make sure that you're taking the bottom corner and tucking the leg inside of the little pocket that's on the bottom of the table cover so that it stays secure. Your acrylic signs, your mirror, your lamps, your signs that will go around the booth, as well as all of your checkout supplies. Step number 2 is finding box number 2, and that is your risers. You want to open up the risers, and inside the box will be a clear description on how to put together a riser. Here's a quick demonstration of how to put together a riser. Once you have put each of the flaps inside each section, simply just take the riser and clip it in. And this is a completed riser. Once you've assembled all of your risers, you will need 34 risers assembled. There will be extra risers in your box for the next show in case there are any damages. Once you have the risers put together, you want to create your riser towers around the booth. 3 risers is a riser tower. We also use single risers to place earring racks or tall busts or other types of displays on them. Using the diagram, you will be able to identify how the table should be set up. This is an example of one table within your set. Please make sure that you're pushing the risers as far back as possible without them falling off the back. Once you have completed this for all tables, you can now begin your jewelry setup. We are now on box number 3, which is step number 3 in your instructions. Inside box number 3 will be your banner. Your clear tote would consist of jewelry from tower numbers 1 through 6, as well as your cover sheets that will be used at the end of your setup. The banner should be applied to the front of the booth as such with these clips. They will be inside the banner tube, inside of a bag. Simply just hook them on the banner and clip them to the table. Never use pins, glue, staples, or paper clips. In box number 3, you will have a clear tote that has bags with jewelry and the bus. When you pull out the bags, you'll start with tower number 1. Tower number 1 will be at the front of your table as shown on your diagram. And inside tower number 1 is all the jewelry that is red. We refer to tower number 1 as our red tower. Just like all other towers, they will each be identified by either a color or a collection. When taking apart the bags, you want to make sure that you keep all of the bubble wrap that each bust is placed in. These bags will be reused at teardown. You simply just take the jewelry out of the bag, the earrings will be inside there as well, and start setting up each riser tower as indicated on your diagram. It doesn't necessarily matter how you set up the jewelry within the bust, just making sure that all the jewelry within the bag with the tower number is on the same tower together. Once you have completed taking all of your busts out of the plastic wrap and setting them up on your tower according to the diagram, please make sure that you keep the bubble wrap and put it back into the bags that the busts were in. Each tower will have 1 or 2 bags of jewelry. Also inside these bags, you will have bracelet ramps. The bracelet ramps are also found in tote number 1. Each bracelet that's in the bag must be put onto the bracelet ramp. This is done by securing it in the back of the bracelet ramp by putting the end of the toggle underneath the elastic and pulling it around the front and tucking it under this clear rubber band. Make sure that the price tag is showing, and for every bracelet you want to have a bracelet ramp, setting it in front of the jewelry, or if the matching jewelry is up on the top, then you would place the bracelet ramp up with the matching necklace. These and these will have their bracelet ramps down at the bottom of the setup. Please leave area open here so that you have room for boxes that will be talked about further in our setup instructions. This is what a riser tower should look like now with all the bracelets put in their places. Please make sure that you're saving the bags that the bracelets are in and also putting those inside of the tower number. Once you've completely finished the tower, please make sure that you're straightening all the jewelry and that the jewelry tag with the price is out in front for the customer to see. We are now on box number 4, which is step 4 of your instructions. Inside box number 4 is another clear tote container which has risers towers numbers 7 through 10. Once you have put up all the jewelry of risers towers 7 through 10, this is now an example of what one table would look like at this point of the instructions. Also found in clear tote number 2 are wine stoppers and heart ornaments. They are individually wrapped in bubble wrap. Please make sure that you're keeping the bubble wrap and putting it back in the plastic bag. There is a display for the wine stoppers that holds 6 wine stoppers, and there's a single display that holds 1 heart ornament. If you have other colors besides the multi, just place them around the display, and these will go on each corner of your setup. Please save the bubble wrap as it will be used when a purchase is made, as well as the large pillow boxes that are also found in tote number 2. Please make sure that those are put at the checkout area of the setup. Also, in the checkout supply bin, back in box number 1, you will find 2 signs. These signs identify the prices for the wine stoppers to the Costco member. You must place those signs in front of both the wine stopper display and the heart ornament display. We are now on box number 5, which is step number 5 of your setup instructions. Box number 5 contains a gray plastic tote which has all of the back stock that will be used during the show. This gray tote should be placed underneath the checkout area of the setup. It also includes a box of boxed pendants that will be set around the display. Each box will be opened up and contains a pendant and a pair of earrings. This is an example of what a completed table should look like after you've done your setup, steps 1 through 5. Do we have any little pillow boxes? Step number 6 is box number 6, which is your pillow boxes. You'll either receive 1 single box or 2 boxes together. Please open up one of the boxes and pull out a stack of 30 pillow boxes and set them at the checkout area of your setup. Now we'll discuss the final stages of your setup. Please make sure that all of your boxes are underneath your tables and all the debris has been cleaned up around your area. Once it has all been completed, make sure to take a photograph of your display and submit that to your management. The next step would be to go over to this checkout area and obtain the roadshow setup and closing report. Fill out the top half of that report and fax it to the number given on the report. This all must be done before you leave the warehouse. Once the report has been completed and the photo has been taken, you want to take the report as well as your diagram, and put that back on the clipboard and left in the checkout area for the opening day. The last thing you want to do before you leave the warehouse is to grab the flat sheets that were sent in your setup. They could be red, black, or beige, and put them over your setup. The first thing you want to do before you put that over the setup is to take down these top bus and put them behind the risers, the signs behind the risers, and then take your sheets and put your sheet over the top of the display. Very carefully, not to mess anything up. This is what your setup should look like before you leave the warehouse. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have any further questions, please contact your direct manager.